You know what? This angle doesn't do my neck any justice. I need to do some more neck curls. But despite, no matter the angle, my neck looks huge. This is recording as well. So Cameron, if you're watching this kind of stuff I rant about it. Come on, put it up here. See, now my neck looks fucking. See, now my neck looks huge. But down here, maybe. More neck curls it is. More neck curls it is. Alright. It's 1 minute to. And he's not been on Telegram since yesterday. However, Cameron seems like a switched on guy, so there's no way he's very unlikely that he'll no show. 2 no shows in a row. That would be a minor inconvenience, indeed. Ten o'clock. I remain hopeful and optimistic. Whilst we are waiting, one thing that clicked in my brain yesterday when I was thinking, I spent a lot of time being conscious about my voice because I mean this is a communication. It's like playing an instrument. It's very, very powerful and effective. It's useful. It's useful to have a clear, engaging voice. And I used to think in terms of, well, it needs to be deeper or volume needs to be louder. But none of that would stick because my voice would still sound kind of shallow, right? But really, what is sound? What is sound really? Sound waves. They're vibrations. They're vibrations. All they are really are vibrations. When someone's voice really connects with you, it's not so much to do with the tonality or the volume. It's to do with the way it really just makes you feel. There's a certain energy vibration to it. So what I've started to do is visualize the person that I'm talking to. Human body is what, 80% water, something stupid like that. 80% water. Actually, I'm on 80% water. So I visualize making that 80% water vibrate with my voice. Now, what does that actually do? Well, it sets the intent that I'm going to move the person and really connect with them using my voice. Now, in order to really drill home this habit, I am consciously overdoing it, and then retrospectively, I will course adjust and tweak it where needed. Will feel natural for a bit, unnatural for a little bit, but that's part of the process. Of course, there's always going to be a bit of mental friction whenever you're making a change to something that you would normally deem part of your personality. Like a part of you may think, "Oh, you're faking it." Well, you are until you're not, until it becomes a part of you, and then it's a part of you. And then you realize, hang on, if that's all it takes to change how I perceive myself, then how much is really me? Do I even exist, or is my whole sense of identity just the byproduct of my actions? Yeah, yeah. all your identity is really just a byproduct of your actions. So, by extension, you can change your entire identity by changing your actions. They don't teach you this shit in school. Right, it's 3 minutes past 10. This ain't looking good, bruv. It looks like we're going down another rant. It looks like we're going for another rant. Fuck. That's pissed me off, bro. Let's set time aside again, man. I want to fucking. I want to train this fucking script. I'm getting good. I'm getting really, really good at this. It's a fucking shame. Right, well, I'm here. I wasted my fucking time, man. I'm getting some kind of value out of this. Yeah, the thought that I was on right there. Identity doesn't actually exist. It doesn't exist. It's a byproduct. Now, so if it's a byproduct, then what's the point of identity? All this right now is new, so off the top of my head. So if it's just a byproduct, then what's the point? What's the point of identity? Well, if you form an identity based off of beneficial actions that yield positive results for you and for the people around you, then having an identity based around that could exaggerate those actions and create a feedback loop in which you just constantly repeat the same beneficial actions over and over again. So if I were to guess the function of personal identity, that is what I would frame it as a means to exaggerate beneficial actions to keep a success loop going and going and going. Obviously, it ain't like that in the real world. Because humans are very, very flawed. I'm a very flawed person. And not all aspects of my identity benefit me. Same with everybody else. Understanding that, a huge part of the game of life is understanding which parts of my identity do not actually benefit me. Do I need to understand where I formed this part of identity, and was it like some kind of childhood trauma, and I know all that stuff? I can see it being beneficial if you can see how certain circumstances led you to form that identity or that belief about yourself. Then you can better prepare yourself for it in the future. However, I mean, going back and having to heal and fix yourself, I don't believe in doing that. Even the idea that you need to fix yourself implies that there's something broken with your machinery. I would argue that there's nothing wrong with your machinery. Machinery is operating exactly as it's intended. It's just been fed shit. It's been fed shit. So it's now carrying out shit incredibly successfully. Right? So if you're a depressed person and you've been a depressed person for a considerable amount of time, guess what? You are very, very successful in being a depressed person. Congratulations. Congratulations. Now, the problem that having this function of identity is that it can limit the process of removing limiting beliefs and replacing them with better ones. Because removing parts of your identity killing those parts off and then replacing it and growing is painful because it feels like you're going to die, right? Like it feels like you're killing a part of yourself. No one wants to do that. Mm, well, most people don't want to do that. I do, but I can understand why I may seem crazy when I say that, but I'm not because I've got evidence based off my past experiences that whenever I go through the fire, figuratively speaking, and kill off certain aspects of myself and allow new parts to grow. Those periods are the most fruitful, they're the best periods of my life. Ironic, eh? Because during in the moment, they may be the most unpleasant. They may be the most turbulent, the most unpleasant, the most anxiety ridden, the most depressing. Like name all those mental health trigger buzzwords, yeah. Throw them all in. In my mind, when I look back at this period, I view them as the most fruitful and the most amazing times of my life. And this isn't me chatting shit to anyone watching this. I'm not faking it. Hopefully, I mean, hopefully it's transparent because I'm not faking any of this. This is all on top of my head. I'm speaking from the core. They're the best times of my life because that's where the growth is. That's where the magic is. Ah, there is a danger there. Do I need to be? Do I need to feel depressed and anxious in order to live life? No, no. I have a good balance. Now, if I compare my idea of balance to someone else's, it looks very, very different. My idea of balance, I'm constantly pushing outside of my comfort zone. Constantly. So I'm in a constant state of stress, of pushing outside of my limitations and constantly adapting. So in a sense, I'm constantly stressed. Physically speaking, I may be, but I would never describe myself as anxious. I know some people who might try to label me as anxious, but I'd never label myself as anxious. Stressed, maybe. I'd say I'm very excited, and I look forward to the future. And I say that because I can see where I'm going in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time. Oh, but stress is bad for you. The cortisol. Mate, stress is fucking great. Stress is good. What the fuck? When you go into the gym, what are you doing? You're stressing your body. I now you take imagine what's happening to your body, right? When you're on the fucking air down. Your heart is pumping, your fucking the blood pumping through your veins, your face has gone fucking red. You're fucking breathing, you're panting, yeah. You take that same physiological state and you put that person on a sofa, suddenly they're having a fucking heart attack. So stress, mate, you go to the gym, you're fucking stressed. You stress your body, that's where the growth comes. Like what the fuck? Stress is good. I believe there is a study proving this, right? Oh, but the stress, the cortisol, suck my dick. Suck my fucking balls. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to be stressed. You're gonna fucking lose, bro. What the fuck? Doing anything hard requires stress. You say, oh, I don't want to be stressed. What the fuck, bro? Anyway, can framing stress as positive or as excitement change positive reframing? Right, well, is this even recording? It is. Well, it looks like we're doing a fucking deep dive. Oh yeah, we're doing a fucking deep dive. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I'm getting some value out of this fucking time. I've come here, I've sit down, came back from the sauna, ready, ate my food, I was ready for a roleplay. I'm getting some kind of fucking value out of this, yeah? Some kind of fucking value. Right. Anyway, reconceptualizing stress, shifting views on the consequences of stress and its effects on stress-free activity. Now, I understand the need for scientific experiments, but a lot of this, fuck, just, just go outside and observe the world, innit? You, I use my mind as a testing ground for how people think. So I look at other people and I imagine myself in their shoes. Why have I chosen to wear what I'm wearing today? Why have I got this haircut? Why am I standing this way? Why am I using this body language? Why have I got this facial expression? Why am I talking like this? Why are my eye movements like this? Why are my hands fidgety? Or why are my hands calm? Why do I look at a certain person this way and then another person this way? Why does my behavior change in this environment compared to this? I was sitting down at London Euston Station. What I was doing there is London Euston Station, and I was just sitting down and I was observing the crowd of people. I was thinking, so many unique patterns of human expression. Think about it. Look at a group of people. So many unique patterns of human expression. Everybody's so different. And at the same time, everybody is so similar in different regards. Both are true. Everybody's extremely unique in how they express themselves. But also, we're all extremely similar. Yeah, and everyone living. This is what again. I love this shit. Everyone has a unique experience of reality, right? So if we take me, take this body, take this vessel. In the vast reality in the universe, right? I'm not even a speck. Like it's the human brain can't imagine how small one person is compared to the vastness of reality, right? And that thought by itself, one, is true, but it can also create this feeling of helplessness and lack of meaning. On the other side, we've also got this thought. So my experience of this reality will always be unique to me. No one else ever on this planet or any other fucking planet will have the same experience and life experiences and thoughts in the order, pattern, whatever, as me. My experience of the reality is unique and it is solely mine. By extension, so is everybody else's. Everybody has their own unique experience of this reality that is unique to them. Now, we put these two together. how small we are compared to the universe and how unique our experience is. And we've got something pretty fucking cool. We've got something pretty fucking cool, right? Because we got, is it a paradox? What's a paradox? Because these things oppose each other. Yeah, a seemingly absurd or contradictory statement or proposition in which when investigated, may prove to be well founded or true. Yeah, I mean, both these statements are true. Maybe you could find a way to disprove them. They seem true to me, so fuck you. But they both seem true. They're both contradictory. I find that cool. Now, how long have I had this thought? Yeah, if anyone is watching this video, they're gonna have a hard time believing me. Or maybe not. Who am I to judge? Who am I to assume things? Why am I assuming things? I've thought about this stuff since I was like 6, 7. Why? I don't know. Mate, mate, I just fucking go watch some Power Rangers, innit? But if I'm really analysing that, whilst that may seem hard to believe or strange, I don't think it is. Because as a child, right? Assuming that you've developed, maybe you developed quickly, maybe you developed slowly, but as soon as you've developed, generally speaking, you don't have the same filters as you may have when you start growing up. You have a childlike wonder about reality. You question everything. Everything everything is new, everything is novel. You want to ask questions about everything. Everything. So this is the shit that I was thinking about. Let's, you know what? I suspect maybe a lot of people do as well. Maybe they forgot. Or maybe I'm saying that to make myself feel better. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, it's 21 past. It's yeah. Calm, calm. Fine, fine. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna watch another 2 of my role plays and add them to my Google Docs. How about that? Listen, I'm leaving it with fucking value. Yeah, I'm leaving it with some value. Not wasting my fucking time. But in the meantime, I am gonna rant a little bit. Now, what have I got to rant about? These aren't even rants. I mean, these are just discussions. These are just discussions. It's the motherfucking TFWG. I wonder if I've always believed, for as long as I can remember, even when I was a little fucking kid, I, not even believed, I knew that I was here to do something. Like I'm here. I'm going to do something incredible, something special, or something that's going to change the world in some way. I always knew that in my core. Now, if we're thinking in terms of what does to someone's subconscious, automatically it sets the success mechanism and it aims the goal up here. So anything I do, they're all just steps towards fulfilling this end goal. That's almost already been preset as do something incredible in the world. That's what it's like for me. I wonder if other people have that. I don't know. I don't know. Or I wonder if people don't have that belief that they're here to do something special, but it can be trained and conditioned into them. Because I don't believe that just because I don't have a natural base that I can't develop a certain skill set. I don't believe that at all. In fact, do I even believe in natural ability? No. When we say natural, we use the word natural because we just can't imagine the factors that have gone into developing this kind of skill set behavior. It's like trying to say something is random. Randomness doesn't exist. The concept of randomness doesn't exist. We say something is random because on the surface it appears random, but all it is our ignorance because we can't perceive the variables that are going into this result. We can't perceive the factors, the variables. So it's random. It's random. Who knows? It's random in it. No, it's not random. We just don't know. We don't know. We don't know the variables. There's no such thing as random. My Twitter feed recently has been going. It's been very esoteric and spiritual lately. Now I'm not one to talk too much about the spiritual side of reality because I don't read too much about it. Am I interested? Sure. But in terms of, if we're looking at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that stuff will, listen, I'll get to that when I get to that, innit? Right? When I've taken care of setting my family up and I've got my own family, and I've got my own empire and it's set up for me and my bloodline, and I've set a strong creed for my bloodline that will be passed on from generation to generation. It's not just gonna fall apart. All the hard work and all the values and the principles that I've developed will not be lost by my children. The creed of my family, part of it will be to teach these things and pass them down to the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. Once I've got that set up, then yes, okay, maybe I'll read a bit about spirituality. Maybe just a little. But that means what was I saying about spirituality? Yeah, people talking about astral projection. Now, do I believe that these people are full of shit? Honestly speaking, I don't have enough evidence to say that they are or they're not. They're not. But I do know that there are layers to this reality that we can't perceive normally, and to pretend that that idea doesn't exist is it ignorance or is it arrogance? It's arrogance. Just because you cannot perceive something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. The fuck was that? Nice. Bit of static from my headphones. It's the fucking spirits coming to get me. It's a good thing I don't believe in ghosts. Ah, the power of the brain. Let's talk about the power of the brain. Tate makes a very good point about this. Right, the human brain is extremely powerful, which is why every single belief that you hold should be examined. Right? Because if you believe in ghosts, and there's a gust of wind, and something knocks over in the attic. If you believe in ghosts, then guess what? Your house is haunted, motherfucker. And now you're paralyzed by fear. Now you're looking around the house, looking into the shadows. Oh, something else moved. Your brain, because it's paralyzed by fear, is creating its own distortion of reality. And now, guess what? Maybe now you're seeing ghosts. Conversely, if it's just a gust of wind but you don't believe in ghosts, then you're not affected. Now, that being said, if I hear static, yeah, let's say I believe in ghosts or I believe in spirits. Let's say this hypothetically. Is all you're going to do put a little bit of static in my headphones? Are you gay? Are you fucking gay? You transverse the spirit realm into the physical realm, and your goal is to terrorize human beings and scare them, to make them repent for their sins, and then to feed off their life force. And your idea of how to do this is to blast the static through someone's headphones. Are you gay? Cunts. Fuck you. Pussios. Bunch of pussios. Now do something. Like, at least do it properly. Cunt. Do it properly. Like, knock over my water bottle or roll up my blinds. Like, do something, dickhead. None of this pussy shit. Cunts. Anyway. Right. Now I'm ranting about spirits being pussies. Which they are. They're a bunch of pussies. I believe the Quran talks about jinn. Now, did it say jinn have been instructed not to interact with us unless we interact with them? The fuck? Jinn can see humans, humans cannot see jinn. Yeah, probably because they're fucking ugly, mate. Quran misled by the jinn, particularly Satan, who is a jinn and an enemy of humanity. Okay, jinn, like humans, have free will and can choose to follow Allah or be led astray. Importance of seeking refuge. Prophet Solomon was granted the ability to control the jinn. Explain. Explain? I would like to know what he knows. The jinn stood behind the learned humans in the Solomon's court, who in turn sat behind the prophets. Unique ability to speak with animals and understand the language of birds. Fascinating. Whether this is true, untrue, I don't know, but it is fascinating. Helped build Solomon's temple and other structures. Okay. While having such power, Prophet Suleiman remained humble, acknowledging his ability were a gift from Allah and used them wisely and justly. Good. Because having that kind of power can be dangerous. It can corrupt. But when people say power corrupts, it's not necessarily true. Power is neutral. It amplifies, just like money amplifies. So if you do want to acquire power, the thing is people want to acquire power. The lure of taking shortcuts to achieve that is there, so people will take it. But if people were to take shortcuts, then there's there's an aspect of themselves that remains retarded. The growth isn't there. It means that they are unfit for that power. Now, people are going to acquire power regardless of what I do. So that if that is the truth, then surely I view it as my responsibility to acquire power by bettering myself and putting myself through the fire and then leading by example. Because if someone's going to wield it, then it's going to be me. I'd rather it not. Trust me, right? I'd rather it not. I'd rather go into the forest somewhere in a treehouse and fish by the lake. That would be cool. I'd be fucking tree hugger for the rest of my life. I'd be very content. I'd be looking at the stars every single night, asking hella questions, being constantly amazed by the reality around me. I would do that. But guess what? Someone will acquire power regardless of what I used to do. So if that is the truth, then I'd rather that person be me, because I trust myself to put myself through the fire, to at least test myself to be worthy of it. Anyway, I have talked about this before. Rebuilding Masjid Al-Aqsa. Someone died while he was leaning on a staff entering the cirque. I think he was alive. Until a worm gnawed at his staff, revealing his death. What if he just fell over when his staff broke and he hit his head? Very, very locked into this research. Very locked into this research. Okay. Well, what other things am I going to talk about? My clinical humanities presentation. So much fun. Lots of fun. Yeah, just love it. Love it. I am actually interested and curious about the topic that I'm talking about, which is, how do you say Carl Jung? Jungian archetypes. I've heard of Jungian archetypes before. And the one I'm talking about is the wounded healer. And there's a video of a psychiatrist saying, I identify as a wounded healer. that immediately set alarm bells going off in my brain. Because I was thinking, why would you consciously identify with something that involves pain? Like saying you're a wounded healer. What does wounded healer even mean? It means you've been hurt so you can help others. But there are downsides to that. You can potentially compromise yourself in order to help other people. Or under that guise. And he's a psychiatrist, and I'm very skeptical about psychiatry as a whole. Of course I am. Why am I skeptical about psychiatry? Because I don't think what do people need when they're going through hard things or hard times? I don't think conditioning the mind with the idea that you need to constantly talk to someone or you're not going to be okay, or you need someone to give you tools or you're not going to be okay. And then when you go away, you need to come back to them, or things just aren't going to be okay. I don't think conditioning the brain with that idea is empowering. And any idea that takes me away from the idea of being empowered, I reject wholeheartedly. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. And I say this, who's had 2 therapy sessions with my dad because he's a cognitive behavioral therapist. Now, what this is? Hey, we're going deep dive here. Fuck it, let's go. Now, did I find things useful? Yeah. What did I find useful? I found that saying ideas out loud and then hearing them out loud helped me form a better understanding of my thoughts and build a better mental map, which then allowed me to navigate through that. Did I need therapy to do that? No. But saying things out loud was a that definitely helped. Is therapy required for that? No. Now, at the end of the second session, my dad did say, "Hey, you still need, you need another session." That third session never happened because I realized where this would be going. This is second order consequences thinking, but I just wasn't aware of what that actually was at the time. I saw where this road would go. Right? Just because I was not in the emotional state, because I was not in the emotional state that you might deem as pleasant at the time. The idea that, okay, well, maybe I need another therapy session. I can see that leading to some form of dependency, a crutch, a mental crutch, in order to relieve the pain. However, that as a byproduct leads to disempowerment. And if you're disempowered by a belief, it doesn't matter what you do, you're always going to feel like there's something wrong. Why? Because if you're disempowered, then you're vulnerable. If you're disempowered, you're literally a fucking target. And you're in here. You're a target in here. And if you're a target, then you're not safe. And if you're not safe, then you're getting emotional feedback telling you you're not safe. And something is always going to feel wrong. Why? Is there anything broken in the brain? No. Your mind and your body wants to survive. So if it feels like there's anything going against that, it's going to let you know. Nothing broken about it. The machinery is fine. It's working exactly as it's meant to. Right. Time. 17 minutes to 11. Yeah, I'm gonna do two call reviews. Two call reviews. Right. What can I say? I got that sauce. The time is 2 minutes past 1 in the morning. I fell asleep. Woke up at 1:15. I've got tutorial tomorrow, 9 a.m. Could have just come back to sleep. But I'm recording this because I've used this entire thing as a mental exercise to prove a point to myself and collect good evidence. This is what I mean when I say I use these moments to collect evidence and leverage them to the highest degree. I said earlier that I'm going to go away and I'm going to do the 2 roleplay reviews and do them in my Google Docs. I fell asleep. I hadn't had them done. I could have woken up, brushed my teeth, got more water, and gone back to sleep, and no one would have known that I didn't do it. But I would have known. And that's not acceptable. The thing is, I recognize this opportunity to prove to myself and to the universe that if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to fucking do it. Right, it's done now. It's done. I'm gonna get some fucking water. Any high ticket closer that's watching this, you're competing against me, motherfucker. So you better be taking this as seriously as me. Because if you're not, then I'm gonna run circles around you. Give me enough time, I will run circles around you. You don't want this as much as I do. And if you do, I hope we meet each other. So that we can both get better. Right? Roger that shit, motherfucker.